Have you ever paused in the silent chaos of your daily life and asked yourself, am I truly growing or just going through the motions? Do you ever wonder if the challenges you face are barriers or actually the stepping stones to a stronger, more resilient you? In a world obsessed with quick wins and comfort, are you quietly letting your dreams slip away, or are you daring to chase goals that demand real transformation? What if your greatest fulfillment doesn't come from reaching the summit, but from the struggle and perseverance woven into every step of your journey? Today's video dives deep into the timeless wisdom of Stoic philosophy, exploring why struggle isn't something to fear, but to embrace, and how chasing meaningful goal 7 in the face of setbacks can lead to a life rich with purpose, growth, and connection. Are you ready to break free from complacency, face your fears, and rise with each challenge? Let's question, reflect, and discover together the power of a life forged by silent determination and relentless self-improvement. Number 1. Every stupid question leads to progress. Throughout the silent corridors of our lives, fear quietly stands guard at the gate of inquiry. How many times have you silenced yourself in meetings, classrooms, or family circles, afraid your question might reveal ignorance? The truth is, every one of us has experienced that racing pulse, the inner voice warning us not to expose our uncertainty. Yet, what often feels like a foolish doubt can become the first stepping stone on a path to profound growth. Epictetus once said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." This is more than Stoic wisdom. It is a battle cry against the silent consensus that vulnerability is weakness. Consider the boardroom veteran, admired for experience, yet held hostage by the artificial calm of silence. The bravest breakthrough may come not from the polished presentation, but from the simple, supposedly stupid question that no one else would voice. That moment of candor opens the floor to clarity, liberates others from their own silent confusion, and raises the standard of collective wisdom. Across families, too, the unasked question can act as silent poison. The son who wonders why his father grows distant in hard times, the spouse who senses something unspoken but remains polite rather than probing deeper. These silent moments accumulate, silently widening the gap until connection feels impossible to restore. Real love, just like real learning, is never silent. Growth emerges from the courage to broach uncomfortable truths, to sit with the reality that change begins when we dare to disturb the peace of complacency. Even in the public eye, progress is often sparked by bold questions. When Oprah Winfrey, early in her career, challenged accepted wisdom with raw honesty, she created a space where tough conversations could flourish and millions found their own voices. Each stupid question she posed made the silent struggles of ordinary people visible, forging a community around shared humanity. "Judge a man by his questions rather than his answers," Voltaire advised, urging us to cherish the silent courage of curiosity over the shallow comfort of false knowing. Stoic growth begins within. The most transformative questions are the silent inquiries we make of ourselves about habits, motives, and the truths we avoid. Socrates declared, "The unexamined life is not worth living." When you look silently into the mirror and ask yourself what needs changing, growth becomes personal and powerful. Start small. Today, identify just one thing you have avoided questioning: a habit, a belief, or a relationship dynamic. Begin with the stupid question. Through this humble act, you loosen the silent shackles of routine, making space for new wisdom and change. Every question you dare to ask is one more step up the mountain of self-improvement. Growth is noisy. It rarely waits for quiet approval. Do not let fear or silent judgment hold you back. Progress belongs to those with the courage to sound foolish and the will to seek the truth, no matter how uncomfortable. In the next lesson, we will confront the irreplaceable power of truth, a force that, when faced, has the power to transform even the most timid question into a beacon of lasting change. Number 2. Truth is the foundation of a meaningful life. Truth, like a lantern in the night, cuts through the silent haze that often cloaks our existence. Without it, the heart stumbles in darkness, drawn further from itself with every unspoken word, each silent denial. Stoicism urges us to summon the courage to face this illuminating force, not just with others, but most powerfully within ourselves. Living untruthfully is like crafting invisible chains, each small lie a silent link that binds the soul. Over time, these deceptions forge a prison. It may gleam with the polish of success or admiration, but deep within, the prisoner knows its walls. In today's world, curated by the relentless glare of social media, it's all too tempting to present perfection. Countless people craft facades, modeling silent smiles, suppressing doubts and pain beneath picture-perfect posts. Yet, with each silent betrayal of one's real feelings, the gap between who we are and who we appear to be grows, leaving us hollow. Stoicism rejects this life of empty roles. As Marcus Aurelius insists, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. Truth raw, and sometimes uncomfortably, the only foundation sturdy enough to bear the weight of meaning. Consider Galileo Galilei, a man who faced the fury of authority, not for pride or profit, but for standing firmly in the light of truth. His silent perseverance, even when threatened with condemnation and isolation, transformed the course of human knowledge. Galileo paid dearly, but his legacy endures. In the same vein, every time we stand up for what is true, even at great cost, we sow the seeds for genuine change within ourselves and our world. To live truthfully demands an unflinching look at our choices, our motives, and our silent fears. Many toil away in silent frustration, working jobs that sap their spirit, not out of love, but to please family or fulfill society's expectations. Each day spent performing rather than living adds a layer of silent regret. As Nietzsche wrote, all things are subject to interpretation. Whichever interpretation prevails at a given time is a function of power and not truth. The power to reclaim our own story begins with honesty. The first step is rarely grand. Truth is found not in dramatic gestures, but in the small, silent moments, admitting when we're wrong, refusing to pretend enthusiasm when we feel cynical, expressing love instead of masking pain with duty. Every small act of honesty chips away at the silent prison, revealing the authentic self beneath. Franklin D. Roosevelt reminded the world, repetition does not transform a lie into a truth. No matter how convincingly you play a role, only authenticity brings peace. Start by questioning, in what silent ways do you betray your values? Where do your words and your convictions quietly diverge? Acknowledge these gaps. Then, each day, make one truthful choice, however modest. Over time, these choices form a path, silent but steady, toward a life rooted in honesty. When you choose truth, you become a beacon. Your courage sends a silent invitation, inspiring those around you to cast off their own masks. Slowly, the world becomes less a stage and more a community of genuine souls. Do not let your days dissolve into silent performances. Fix your compass by the steady light of truth. In this, you will find not just freedom for yourself, but a far-reaching power to bring depth and meaning into every silent corner of your life. If your heart aches for authenticity, you are not alone. Step forward, live bravely and truthfully. If this message resonates, comment, being authentic. Let's inspire one another to transform silent endurance into meaningful action, starting with truth as our unwavering foundation. Number 3. Discipline unlocks the path to true freedom. Discipline, though often misunderstood as restriction, is the quiet architect of authentic freedom. Picture not just a cluttered room, but the silent chaos that invades daily life when boundaries vanish and willpower withers, neglected promises, abandoned goals, and relentless noise that drowns clarity. In this silence, regrets breed and potential fades. The difference between a life of quiet torment and one of true fulfillment is rarely a matter of circumstances, a matter of discipline. Many mistake freedom for the absence of restraint, the ability to act on every desire, to pursue fleeting pleasures as they arise, but such a life delivers only captivity masquerading as liberty. If you are enslaved by habits, whether they are endless scrolling late at night, emotional eating during stress, or avoiding tasks out of fear, you truly free. Epictetus, with unwavering clarity, declared, "No man is free who is not master of himself." To master oneself is to reclaim the silent corners of one's life from the tyranny of impulse. Discipline operates much like the patient hand of a master gardener, selectively pruning what chokes out growth, nurturing what matters most, and refusing the weeds of procrastination and distraction. Think of the young musician, locked away from the world's amusements, repeating scales for hours. The discipline is silent, but the beauty it produces, fluid, seemingly effortless artistry, is audible to all. That is the paradox. Discipline is silent labor behind closed doors that builds the stage for true expression. Contemplate the examples set by those who've shaped history not with noise, but with the quiet force of consistent effort. Consider Angela Merkel, known for her disciplined deliberation, steering Germany through turmoil, not with loud declarations but with silent, persistent work, grounded in principle. Or look closer, the friend who never breaks a promise to themselves to exercise at dawn, the parent who carves out time each evening to connect with their children instead of succumbing to silent exhaustion. Every day is a series of silent choices. Do you succumb to the silent lure of another useless distraction, or do you honor a commitment? Do you let the day slip quietly through your fingers, or do you turn silent intentions into action? As Zeno of Citium taught, well-being is achieved by small steps, but is truly no small thing. Small acts: rising early, organizing your thoughts before bed, prioritizing healthy meals shape the character needed to move mountains. Discipline is not a trait reserved for heroes or visionaries. Elon Musk's relentless schedule and endless risks are celebrated, but the power of discipline is just as profound in ordinary moments. A bed made, a task finished, a mindful choice of words in an argument. These are the silent acts that build fortresses of resilience. Seneca, ever wise, wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." We squander time in the silent comfort of distractions, waiting for the right day to begin. But discipline is not about waiting. It is about doing now, in this silent moment, before opportunity slips away. The life you desire depends on the silent, unglamorous decisions you make when no one sees. If you yearn for freedom, look to discipline. Replace the false comfort of chaos with purposeful control. Each small action, repeated faithfully, is a vote for the person you wish to become. Freedom, then, is not found in living without rules, but in living by principles that liberate you from silent self-betrayal. Begin today. Do not let silence become the graveyard of your ambitions. Make one disciplined choice and let that silent seed grow. In the garden of your life, discipline is the silent sun, steadfast, uncelebrated, but utterly essential. And in embracing it, you unlock not just freedom, but the deeper purpose that gives life its richest meaning. Join me in the next lesson as we journey from self-discipline to the broader embrace of responsibility, the silent force that lights the path to a purposeful life. Number 4. Responsibility gives life its true meaning. Life is a symphony, and each of us plays a note within its vast, unfolding score. The question is not whether you will make a sound, but whether that sound will rise above the silent background of indifference to add richness and purpose to the melody of existence. Responsibility is the concept at the heart of this choicer force that can transform your days from fleeting moments into a legacy that echoes through time. For many, existence becomes a silent drift. The days blur together, each one slipping quietly into the next without leaving a mark. Rootless living, focused only on passing pleasure or evasion of discomfort, leads to nothing but regret. Much like the children in Pinocchio, seduced by Pleasure Island's false promise, we may find that the pursuit of easy joys robs us not only of direction, but of who we are at our core. The story is timeless. Indulgence without accountability leaves us empty, our music unsung and unheard. Yet there is another way. Choosing responsibility is the act of stepping up and claiming your influence, no matter how small, on the world around you. What we do is never truly silent a kind word to a partner, the effort to mend a friendship, or a quiet moment spent nurturing your own growth. These actions, even if unnoticed, create ripples that can touch lives far beyond your immediate circle. Marcus Aurelius reflected, "What we do now echoes in eternity. This is not hyperbolite, is the daily reality of living intentionally." People often shy away from this path because it demands vulnerability, humility, and courage. Owning your mistakes, admitting where you have fallen short, and daring to fix what is broken can feel like an uphill battle. Some days, responsibility feels like carrying a silent weight, one that is heavy but never without purpose. But at the summit, there is clarity. Every struggle, every course correction becomes a badge of strength and wisdom gained. Failure loses its sting when viewed as a lesson, not a defeat. Stoics teach us that the journey of self-improvement is not a quick leap but a series of daily, deliberate steps. Epictetus put it simply, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." It is not enough to dream of a life of integrity or happiness. You must align your actions with your vision, even when the world is silent or crowding you with doubt. We see the grandeur of this principle in history. Mahatma Gandhi, for example, did not wait for permission to act responsibly. He accepted the silent burden of leading by example. He faced overwhelming adversity, yet responded not with bitterness, but by redefining what one person's steadfast responsibility could accomplish. His words, "Be the change that you wish to see in the world," ring true for any life, great or small. Yet heroism is not required. Often, the most meaningful change begins in the silent, unnoticed corners of daily life, apologizing sincerely, speaking up for what is right, refusing to pass blame. These choices build the foundation of a life that matters. If you feel your life lacks meaning, do not look outward, look inward, and ask whether you have embraced your silent duties, large and small. Responsibility is not a burden, it is a guiding light, cutting through the fog of aimlessness, inspiring growth, pride, and lasting fulfillment. Each step you take with intention is a silent pledge to yourself. I am here and I matter. Break free from the inertia of inaction. Change a habit, nurture a relationship, strive to grow, and own your power to shape your world. Like a compass, responsibility orients you through life's complexity, ensuring that your existence is not just a silent presence but a force for good. If you agree that responsibility is the key to a meaningful life, hit like and join this movement for deeper living. By watching this far, you've taken a powerful step toward transformation. Stay until the end. And together, let's fit every piece into the puzzle of personal change, so you can live not only with intention, but with enduring impact, where your note in life's symphony resounds, never silent, always true. Number 5. Writing and reading sharpen the mind and spirit. In the silent recesses of every life, writing and reading remain two of the most profound tools for awakening self-awareness and cultivating wisdom. They are accessible to all, regardless of status or fortune, yet often overlooked in a world rushing from one distraction to the next. It is through these, actionable in their appearance but transformative in their effect, that we carve clarity out of confusion and sow the seeds of real change. When life's noise grows deafening, leaving thoughts tangled and emotions scattered, few remedies compare to the simple act of picking up a pen. Writing is not just a means of recording events. It is the discipline of facing oneself without pretense. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, wrestled privately on parchment with his deepest faults and daily intentions. He wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." In your silent moments, writing turns the overwhelming chaos of your inner world into something visible, manageably, first step toward reclaiming order where only confusion reigned. The power of writing lies in its honesty. No mask survives long on the page. When fears, regrets, or silent burdens are transferred from mind to paper, they begin to lose their grip. Whether it's a journal entry capturing morning anxieties or a heartfelt letter to a loved one in the depths of misunderstanding, the value is found not in style, but in sincerity. Writing is an act of bravery, exposing your vulnerabilities, strengths, and aspirations with each word. Yet self-reflection alone is not enough. If writing helps you travel inward, reading is the quiet companion that opens distant worlds and expands your horizon far beyond your own experience. Through reading, you hear the voices of those who walked before you, philosophers who questioned reality, artists who depicted beauty, scientists who decoded nature's silent laws. Seneca reminds us, we should hunt out the helpful pieces of teaching and the spirited and noble-minded sayings which are capable of immediate practical application, not far-fetched or archaic expressions or extravagant metaphors and figures of speech, but words which are straightforward and unassuming. Consider Viktor Frankl, who in the silent agony of the concentration camp wrote later in Man's Search for Meaning about the power of holding on to hope and the discipline of the mind. Or look at the example of Maya Angelou, whose poetry arose from raw experience and delivered courage to countless souls. Reading the lives and thoughts of such individuals is like entering a silent room where the wise share their secrets with you alone. The lessons found in their words become guiding lights for your own journey, proving that you're never truly alone in your struggles. Daily life gives countless opportunities to make reading and writing habits, not mere occasions. You don't need to pen a novel or spend an afternoon in a library. 5 minutes with a notebook or a single page from a thought-provoking book can, over time, reshape your perception and help you confront the silent doubts that have gone unchallenged for years. Do not let your days be consumed by perpetual activity or passive entertainment. Dedicate a portion of each day to writing your thoughts and reading something that challenges you. Let these moments be sacred, a retreat from the silent pressures of life, a meeting with your truest self, and a dialogue with minds greater than your own. With every line you write and each page you turn, the mind and spirit are honed, refined, awakened. The world does not reward silent suffering or unwritten dreams. It responds to those who seize the tools of transformation at hand. The Stoics believed, as we must too, that true progress is methodical. Step by step, thought by thought, the mind is sharpened, and with it, the spirit grows strong and resilient. In this way, you move beyond survival and lay claim to a life shaped by understanding, meaning, and authentic joy. Start now, before the silent regrets of inaction catch up. Through reading and writing, you possess the keys to unlock your best self and infuse your days with lasting purpose. Number 6. Struggle is what makes the journey worthwhile. Life is an unending journey, a continuous climb in which each of us faces our own mountains. Sometimes these peaks take the form of unfinished dreams, difficult relationships, the daily demands of work, or the internal battles we silently fight. Each of us carries, often without words, the weight of what we long for, what we fear, and what we hope to become. It is not the summit, but the silent, daily climb that gives life its deepest meaning. In the stillness of routine, comfort can become a silent adversary. It tempts us to remain in the familiar, where risk, growth, and disappointment rarely intrude. But the cost of this comfort is immense. Time escapes in silence hours, days and years blend together, until suddenly regret fills the spaces where bold choices could have thrived. As the philosopher Søren Kierkegaard warned, anxiety is the dizziness of freedom. Too often, we avoid this dizzying openness by refusing to act, remaining silent and still rather than stepping out into discomfort. No achievement exists without the struggle that forges it. Look to the lives of great innovators and dreamers. Elon Musk, when questioned about the pressures and failures faced while building companies like Tesla and SpaceX, remarked that entrepreneurship is like eating glass and staring into the abyss. Struggle is not a flaw in the process, it is the process. Similarly, Thomas Edison endured 1,000 silent setbacks on the road to creating the light bulb, yet he viewed each failure as a lesson, not a defeat. His determination teaches us, don't fear falling short, fear standing still. The silent battle we fight every day is most often with ourselves, the voice urging us to give up or settle for less. Yet from these very struggles arise the proudest victories. Think about the parent who works extra hours to build a better life for their children, the friend who chooses honesty over comfort in mending broken trust, or the individual who finally faces a long-avoided health challenge. These are not stories of instant success, but of perseverance and silent resolve. Stoic wisdom urges us to compare ourselves only to who we were yesterday, not to those around us. True fulfillment doesn't come from measuring outcomes, but from acknowledging the effort and growth etched into every step. The Roman philosopher Seneca said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body." When hardship arrives, when life is silent, but heavy, embrace it. The struggle itself is shaping you into someone more resilient, more compassionate, and more alive. Stagnation, not failure, is life's real enemy. Every silent morning spent reading, every small choice to learn or improve, every attempt to break a bad habit brings you closer to the summit of your own character. The journey is rarely glamorous. Some days, progress is measured in inches, not miles. Yet each effort, though small, accumulates over time, creating the foundation of a life well lived. One of the great tragedies is waiting for the perfect moment, the silent promise that someday, when you feel ready, then you'll start. That day may never come. Life does not pause. Opportunity slips by quietly, never announcing itself with fanfare. So ask yourself today, what mountain am I afraid to climb? What silent barrier stands in my way? Begin, however quietly, take the smallest step possible, even if your voice quivers and your stride is unsure. The courage to act, despite not knowing the outcome, is itself victory. Self-improvement is not a luxury. It is the price of living with meaning. Don't allow procrastination, inertia, or fear to keep your story untold. Engage with life as Edison, Musk, and countless silent heroes have fall, rise, and persist. Every struggle endured, every hurdle overcome, brings an indescribable sense of purpose and joy. As you reflect now, I invite you to share a story from your own climbing experience where you struggled, persisted, and eventually found meaning on the other side. Leave a comment below. Your journey, shared openly, may serve as a silent but powerful source of hope for others taking their first step up their own mountain. Number 7. Chase goals that keep you growing endlessly. In the silent corridors of daily existence, true fulfillment is rarely found by those who settle for comfort or allow their days to be consumed by routine. It emerges for those who pursue goals that stretch beyond their current abilities, igniting a fire in the spirit and compelling constant growth. Life's true richness, as Stoic philosophy reminds us, lies in the endless pursuit of meaningful ambition, not the momentary satisfaction of reaching the summit, but the relentless journey upward. Reflecting on the wisdom of Epictetus, difficulties show what men are. We realize challenges act as mirrors, revealing the character forged in adversity. Consider the countless people you know or have heard of, colleagues who dedicated years to rising through the ranks, only to lose themselves in silent disappointment after reaching a position they thought would bring satisfaction. Athletes who, after winning a gold medal, grapple with emptiness, as documented in studies of post-victory depression. The challenge conquered is not an endits, but a pause before the next ascent. The absence of a new goal creates a void that no trophy or title can fill. This truth is deeply relevant today, when society's silent promises entice us to chase comfort, applause, or material success. Yet these are not the pursuits that lead to enduring self-respect or transformation. Life's meaning intensifies when we set our sights on new horizons that demand courage, discipline, and learning from each misstep along the silent path. The legendary resilience of luminaries like Serena Williams was not born of a single victory, but of an unwavering commitment to grow after every defeat, to face the silent doubts that follow even the greatest triumphs. Seneca, in his timeless conviction, declared, "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself." Adversity isn't merely a test, it is the crucible from which authentic strength arises. And yet, the goals most worth chasing aren't only those that satisfy personal ambition. Marcus Aurelius counseled, "What is not good for the beehive cannot be good for the bees." When personal growth is aligned with service to others, when a promotion at work translates into mentorship or improved health, allows you to energize your family and community, and the silent ripples of your progress expand outward, touching lives in ways you may never see. Our goals, then, should not be confined to comfort or self-interest. The most transformative ambitions are those tethered to both challenge and greater purpose. Take, for instance, the parent who learns new skills to better support a child, or the volunteer who devotes Saturdays to building brighter futures for strangers. These goals, though sometimes silent and unseen, stretch the soul and strengthen the bonds that make life worthwhile. So, how does one begin this journey of ceaseless growth? It starts with an honest question. Does my current goal make me uncomfortable with its magnitude? If not, it may be time to set a higher bar. Maybe you're considering returning to education at 50, launching a business after children have left home, or working tirelessly to improve your mental or physical health for your loved ones. No step is too small if it moves you forward. Hesitation, not the challenge itself, is the true obstacle. Seneca's words echo here. It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare, but because we do not dare that they are difficult. Goals that foster endless growth are in constant flux zone reached. Another emerges on the silent horizon. Progress requires only this, a willingness to step forward, to quiet the doubts that whisper, "You're not enough," and to move, however falteringly, into the unknown. Navigate your own journey. Remember, life waits for no one. The only time you truly possess is now. Set ambitious goals that serve both yourself and the world around you. Take daily action, however silent or unseen, and witness the transformation within. For in this pursuit, you will find not only achievement, but a life filled with purpose and boundless possibility. As we reach the end of this journey together, remember, true fulfillment doesn't come from fleeting achievements, but from the silent, steady process of growth, learning, and pushing through life's challenges. Every small action, every moment of self-reflection brings you closer to your best self. The wisdom of the Stoics reminds us to embrace difficulties, take responsibility for our choices, and continuously seek meaning beyond comfort zones. Don't wait, start improving yourself today, no matter how small the step. If you found value in this video, please like, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. Let's support each other on the path to a wiser, more resilient life. Thank you for watching. Until next time, keep growing and stay true to your journey.